All right, what's your name?
Ben Soto. I'm a senior.
So, what made you decide to try rugby?
So freshman year, I did wrestling, and that was interesting. I'd never done anything like it before, but at the end of the season, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do it again. So I talked to some of my friends who played rugby freshman year, and they said I should give it a try. So I came out, tried out, and I really enjoyed it, and I've been playing ever since.
Well, I know sophomore year we talked about you playing rugby and you wanted to get involved in more of a team sport. How has rugby fit that need for you?
Well, I played soccer, basketball, and then I did wrestling freshman year. And obviously wrestling is just you and one other guy, and I kind of miss that whole team aspect of everything. And I'd say rugby as a sport is one of the it requires you to work well as a team in order to succeed, as opposed to a lot of really other sports, I feel. So yeah, I just love the whole team aspect of it.
So now you hadn't played rugby coming into Saints. What sports did you play beforehand?
Well, let's see. When I was young, I played soccer for quite a while. Then I played basketball for a few years, and then wrestling freshman year, and that was really it. So that was really, I'd say, like the first full contact sport I've ever played. I didn't play freshman football or anything. So yeah, that was.
So how did those skills help you translate to the high school rugby game?
Well, I think part of the cool thing about rugby is, it certainly helps having an athletic background, but it's also the sport where I feel like you can kind of just jump in and once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy to have a fun time and be pretty good at it. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, athletic background helps, but just going out there and enjoying yourself is also, really what makes you a good player.
A lot of kids don't know about rugby. Can you talk about rugby culture?
Well, like I said before, it's definitely very team involved. A lot of the guys, I'm really good friends with them. Guys that I really had never talked to before, I now talk to on a regular basis, and obviously practices are great. Everyone has a great time, and yeah, it's just a great team sport.
Kieran mentioned the brotherhood, even with other teams. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So. In terms of I know some programs, if you're on varsity, you're kind of, or you're on JV, you may not think of yourself as as important as someone who's on varsity. But in terms of the camaraderie on the sport, I think it's everyone's friends with everyone. The seniors are friends with the freshmen. The freshmen talk to the seniors. It's just something that you don't always find in the other sports programs here at Saints.
How has Saints rugby impacted your high school experience?
I'd say I made a lot of new friends, which is probably the coolest thing in my opinion. I think freshman football for some people is how they make a lot of friends, and I didn't do that. So I didn't have a lot of friends, but then once I started playing rugby, I got to know a lot more people. So I think that was pretty cool.
What advice would you give to a student who's considering trying out for rugby? Maybe they're on the fence.
Yeah, so I think if you're on the fence, just go for it. If you're kind of maybe afraid of the more physical aspect of it, just don't worry about it. I'm not a very big guy, and I still feel like I'm able to compete out there on the field. So yeah, if you're just on the fence, I'd just say give it a try, and I have a feeling you'll probably enjoy it.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit more about the physicality? You play the 10 position, which is a lot of contact.
Yeah, so having never really played a contact sport before, it was something that obviously going into it I was maybe a little bit worried about. But after the first couple times of tackling someone and getting tackled, you really just get used to it. And if you get the right form and technique down, it's really not even that big of a deal. You can kind of just become second nature. So.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about playing high school rugby for St. Augustine?
It's just a great program. I'm really happy I decided to come out sophomore year and do it, and I'm really happy that I'm still playing till my senior year. So yeah, just go for it, just play.
Are you considering playing in college?
If the opportunity arises, maybe, but I wouldn't say I'm explicitly looking for a college to play at. But I also feel like if a college wanted me to play for them, I'd be totally happy with playing for them. So.
All right, Ben Soto, thank you.
Thank you.